Video number 2 for 7th grade. All right, hopefully you're getting in the hang of this. Remember, we're going to take notes on this, so I want you to be sure to pause the video, try some things as we go. Here's the standard. So bear with me on this one. I wouldn't write this standard down because really it's just long, and let's go ahead and read it, and we'll talk a little bit about it as we go, and then I'll break it down for you. So first, understand that P plus Q as the number located. All right, so we need to understand that this thing, P and Q, these are variables. So this is just some number plus another number, right? So understand that this, adding these, is the number located Q. Okay, so the absolute value of Q, and we'll talk about absolute value again, from P. Okay, in the positive or negative direction, depending on whether Q is positive or negative. Show that a number and its opposite have a sum of 0. We've already started talking about that. Those are called additive inverses, okay? Things that add up to add up to 0. In fact, that's what I want you to do. I want you to write down this one, right? This additive inverse thing. I want you to write down additive inverse, and then I want you to write the definition for it. That it's that it means numbers and its opposite that add to 0. Okay, so additive inverses are numbers, a number plus its opposite that add to 0. Okay, one more time. Additive inverse is a number and its opposite that add to 0. Okay, and then we're also going to interpret sums of rational numbers by describing real world contexts. Okay, we're not going to get to that part in the video. That's going to be more of what we do in class. All right, so let's move on. And really, what does this mean? Okay, well, this is a lot of information. Here's what it is. You know what? We're basically going to be doing chapter 6.2 in our book. We're going to be adding integers. Okay, we're going to hit this standard again a little bit later, and we're going to add rational numbers. So it's not just going to be integers. I know some of you have already done this before. We're just going to, I need to make sure that you understand how to add integers, so that when we start adding rational numbers, that we don't get caught up in the whole negative part. Okay, all right, so let's get started here. First, let's talk about the absolute value. Remember, the absolute value is how far a number is from 0. And I want you to keep in mind that 0 is often going to represent a starting point, not necessarily negative. Okay, I mean nothing. It doesn't always mean nothing. So let's go ahead and let's see, I got something. Let's do the absolute value of 4. Okay, so what does the absolute value of 4 means? It means, remember, how far a number is from 0. So we're going to say, how far is 4 from 0? Okay, well, here's 0. Let me go, let's see this in yellow. Here's 0, and I could say it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I could say this is 4 in the positive direction, or we could go the other way, right? Go 1, 2, 3. We could go to here, and we could do 4 in the negative direction, right? So 4 places away from this, meaning 4 places away from 0, is either going to be 4 above 0, right? 4 places in the up direction, or we're going to say it's down 4. Okay, and that's what those values mean. Okay, so then let's try another one. Let's say negative 4. Okay, what's the absolute value of negative 4? Well, we just did positive 4, right? So now what we're saying is negative 4, how far away is that from 0? Well, we did negative 4. We saw that this was, right, negative 4. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 places away from 0, right? So this is 4 places away from 0, and this is 4 places away from 0. Both of them are 4 places. That's a terrible equal sign. There we go. They're both 4 places away from 0. Okay, here's the negative 4, right? And then if we look at the positive 4, it's here. Okay, again, this is also, I'd have to travel 1, 2, 3, 4 places to get to 0, or from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to there. Okay, so then we'll look at negative 3, the absolute value of negative 3. So if I look to see negative 3, here's negative 3. How far is that from 0? Well, it's 1, 2, 3 places, right? 3 places in the negative direction. It's still 3 places away from 0. It just happens to be 3 places down from 0. Okay, so really this is just telling you how far from 0, and this tells you the direction. Let's try another one. What's the absolute value of 1? Okay, so we're saying I'm 1 away from 0, right? I could be here or I could be here. Okay, and it's the positive. So positive 1 is 1 space away from 0. It just happens to be in the up direction. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If not, make a note somewhere on there that you need to ask questions about absolute value, because now what I want to talk about is, here we talk about this absolute value of Q. So what I'm talking about is Q, right, is some number. And so we're going to talk about the absolute value of Q. So it's some distance away from 0, okay? So it could be, Q could be 4, right, like we did here, right? The absolute value could be 4. It's 4 places away from 0, either in the positive direction or the negative direction, right? It could be -3, right, which would mean it's 3 away from 0 in the negative direction. Okay, so that's really all they were talking about in the standard there about the absolute value of Q. It's just that we're moving some distance, okay, and we're either going to move in the negative direction or the positive direction. Okay, so you may be asking yourself, what is going on? Why is he talking about this? Okay, so you've added numbers before, right? It's like 2 plus 3. Hopefully you understand. No, that's 5. What we're going to do is we're going to start showing these on a number line, okay? So what this looks like is, okay, I'm going to start with 2. So 2 is here, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, right? So I'm adding 3. So 2 plus 3. Well, 3, this is a positive 3, right? So if I look at this 2 plus, I'm adding a number, right? Remember this was P plus Q, okay? So in this case, it's P plus. P is 2, right? Q is 3, a positive 3. So what I'm saying is I'm going to move 3 spaces away, and I'm going to do it in the positive direction. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, right? I'm going to go up 3 because this is a positive 3, okay? In this case, P is equal to 2 and Q is equal to 3. So I'm going to start with 2. I'm going to add, and I'm going to go up 3 spaces, right? You knew to go to positive 2. And then we're going to go up 3 spaces, okay? So I go up 3. So my answer is positive 5. Okay? Hopefully that's pretty basic. Learned that long time ago. So then what's going to happen if we do 2 plus -3? Okay, same idea. With that idea of P plus Q, 2 numbers that I'm adding together. In this case, P is 2. In this case, Q is -3. Okay, notice it's -3 because I'm adding this number and this number. This is adding them, adding this number and this number. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start at 2. Okay, and then I'm going to go 3, but I'm going to go in the down direction, right? So instead of going up to 5, I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3 places. Okay, go down, and I'm going to end up at -1. Okay, this is going down 3. So my answer here is -1. Okay. So one of the things you can look at is you can see when you're adding 2 different integers that you can look at the 2, if they're different signs, okay, the sign of the greater one is going to be your sign of your result, okay? Because if I go up 2 and then down 3, I'm going more down than I went up. Okay, so I know that I'm going to be down here, right? And if you're struggling with any of these, I have a couple of different strategies that you can use. I don't want to put them in the video to try to confuse you more than you probably already are, but please bring those ideas to class, and I will explain, give you alternative versions. Okay, so if you move up when adding a positive number, right, we do the opposite. So now you go ahead and draw a number line and see if you can add these 2 together. All right, so hopefully you looked at this and you said, okay, kind of like the whole idea of P plus Q. I'm adding 2 numbers, right? So I'm adding 5, right? P is equal to 5, and then I'm adding a -3. Okay, so I'm going to go up 5, and then I'm going to come down 3. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, start here, and then I'm going to come down. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 spots down to get to 2. Okay, and so my answer here is 2. Okay, moving on. All right, so now what happens if I have 2 negative numbers? Well, same idea holds true, right? I'm going to look at P plus Q. Okay. And then I'm going to say, okay, P is -2, Q is -5, right? And so what I'm doing is putting these together. I'm going to go down. I'm going to find -2. Okay, start here. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to go down 5. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to add -7 here, okay? And this is where I am. So I went to -2 and then I went down 5. And you notice both of these are negative, right? When I did 2, if I do 2 plus 5, I'm going to get 7, right? Because this is up 2 and up 5 make up 7. Well, this is really no different. I'm just doing the same thing, just in the opposite direction, right? Down 2, down 5, total of going down 7. Okay? All right, so we went down here. Forgot to put the arrow on there. And there you have it. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to give you 3 problems here. I want you to do them on the number line on your own, and then I'll show the answers at the end here, and then bring these to class. Okay, so here are your 3 problems. Here's the first one: 4 plus -3, and then do this one, and then last you can do that one. Okay, go ahead, pause the video, and do those. All right, so on this one, hopefully you said, okay, I'm going to start at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This says I'm going to be going down 3 from there, so I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, which gets me to 1. So my answer here is +1. And again, I'm doing, if you look at these two, different signs. This is going up, this is going down. I'm doing more up than down, so I'm going to be up 1. My answer will be positive. In this case, I'm looking, I have a -1 and a -5, so I'm going to start at -1. Okay. I'm going down, and then I'm going down more, so my answer should be negative. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that gets me to -6. So here my answer will be -6. And last, I'm going to do a +1 and a -7. Okay, so that means I'm going up, and then I'm going down, but I'm going more down than up, so my answer should be negative. So we'll go to 1. Okay, and then we're going to go down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here, and I end up at -6. Okay. All right, bring those to class tomorrow. Show me your notes, and we will do some more practice. Okay.